And with me now is Marcus Kolga, Senior Fellow at the Macdonald Laurier Institute. Marcus, appreciate your time. What do you make of the peace talks now taking place, shifting to Moscow? Are you expecting anything from the meeting between Steve Witkoff and Vladimir Putin?
Well, not really. I would say that it's also false to call them really peace negotiations. This is more of a real estate negotiation. We know that the initial 28-point plan, as it was called, that was issued a few weeks ago, that seemed to be basically a Kremlin shopping list, making demands of Ukraine, basically cutting it off from the Western world and erasing its ability to make any of its own independent decisions in terms of its foreign policy and defense arrangement. It was in essence a capitulation plan, which was, interestingly enough, also included the transfer of $100 billion in frozen Russian assets to the United States and a guarantee that 50% of the profits from those assets would remain with the U.S. So, again, there's nothing in that 28-point plan that would be acceptable to President Zelensky, to Ukraine, or quite frankly, any of Ukraine's allies, including Canada. So the negotiations that are taking place today in Moscow with also two of Donald Trump's envoys that have not been confirmed by Congress at all, who are just independent representatives of Donald Trump. I'm not sure where these negotiations are going because, again, Ukraine will not accept this 28-point plan. And I believe that any changes that are made to that 28-point plan in a counter-proposal by Ukraine will be unacceptable to Vladimir Putin. So I don't think these negotiations are going anywhere.
Yeah, as you mentioned, by Ukraine and its allies, this is really seen as endorsing many of Russia's demands. So Ukraine is looking for more support from Europe. What might that look like at this stage?
Well, look, I mean, number one at the top of that list is access to the $300 billion US dollars that is frozen in European banks, 22 billion of that in Canadian banks. And so I think that Ukraine is looking to access those funds, at least the interest or the profit that's being made off of those funds over the past 4 years. It will also be looking for additional weapons to help it to defend itself against this relentless campaign of terror. Of course, we've seen almost every single night hundreds upon hundreds of drones being shot from Russia at Ukrainian infrastructure, civilian infrastructure, apartments, homes, hospitals, and such. So air defenses, and again, those weapons it needs to defend itself and push back Russia's invasion.
As you mentioned, despite the ongoing negotiations, Russia's onslaught continues. Marcus Kolga is a Senior Fellow at Macdonald Laurier Institute. Marcus, thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, Scott.